Alright guys, welcome back to Underground Science, and in this video we'll be talking about norepinephrine, also called noradrenaline release in the brain. Alright, synthesis and release in the brain. And so these are going to involve noradrenergic neurons, so neurons that release noradrenaline into the cerebral cortex. Alright, so let's go and see where that happens. So again, just like our video that we made in the dopamine and all the other neurotransmitter release videos we made, it's going to be happening, or the somas and the nuclei of the neurons are going to start in the brainstem, but for norepinephrine, it's going to be the pons of the brainstem, right? So part of the metencephalon. So let's say the pons, again, is right about here. Let's go and estimate, since it's not a 3D picture, so we can see that this will be about the pons, because then the medulla is going to be below it, the medulla oblongata, and then we start the spinal cord. So let's say the pons is right about there. So let's go and label that out. It's going to be our pons, and our pons is part of our metencephalon. All right, and we're going to have an area in our pons, a specific area called the locus cerealis. All right, so let's go and write that down. So this area is going to be called the locus cerealis. All right, so the locus cerealis is a specific area in our pons that's part of the metencephalon, right? Our pons is, and it's part of our brainstem, the second part of our brainstem that has nuclei in it, right? Has our cell body, our somas of our neurons inside it. And what's going to happen is these nuclei are going to project their axons out, right? Again, deep through the white matter of the cerebrum, and it's going to terminate, or it's going to synapse onto the cerebral cortex, or into the cerebral cortex, I should say. All right, so let's go and draw a 4 right there, and let's go and show our release. So what's going to happen is we're going to have vesicles at the end of our synapses, right? Our synapses and our neurons that are going to release our norepinephrine. All right, so we're going to have norepinephrine release into our cerebral cortex. All right, and again, these are noradrenergic neurons because it's releasing noradrenaline. All right, so let me go and write that down. Let's go and label this, that these are norepinephrine neurotransmitters. All right, norepinephrine. All right, and it's also called noradrenaline. And we're gonna go ahead and label these axons, or not these axons, but the neurons and as a whole, as our noradrenergic neurons. All right, noradrenergic neurons, because these are neurons that produce, or that synthesize and release noradrenaline. All right, so they release noradrenaline. All right, and so that's pretty much it. That's what I want to cover. And one thing to make sure, which we'll cover in a future video, right, this locus cerealis in our pons of our brainstem is actually going to be part of something called the reticular activating system. All right, so let's go and state that now, so hopefully it can be in our minds when we talk about the reticular formation. All right, so this is going to be part of our reticular activating system. All right, because again, norepinephrine and epinephrine go together, and they're actually very important neurotransmitters to keep us conscious and alert, right? Remember, when we get that flight or fight response, that's adrenaline right there, right? Norepinephrine and epinephrine. So reticular activating system, all right? And one other thing we should talk about, that we will talk about in a future video, is that the RAS system is here, but we have another structure in our brainstem called the reticular formation, and that's really important, keeping our consciousness, right? It's going to be releasing glutamate into our cerebral cortex, and we'll talk about that in a future video, right, about our reticular formation. But just know that the locus cerealis is part of a reticular activating system, because epinephrine and norepinephrine are really important neurotransmitters to keep us alert and to have that fight or fight response when we need it. All right, so that concludes this video. So the good thing it was finally some video that was short and sweet. Hopefully it was sweet, but in my future videos, I'll talk more about chem, bio, and physics. And so don't forget to hit that notification bell, and don't forget to like and subscribe. and hopefully I'll see you guys later. And make sure to stay safe. All right.